Hey guys, welcome to the spoilers. Skynet is no more. Skynet is gone. Yep. There is no more Skynet.
Yep.
I don't like that. The Terminators that I grew up with, that I love so much, the silver Terminators, the endoskeletons, the 101 model, the T-800, which is the same thing, gone. They do not exist anymore.
No,
it is Legion. And Rev 5s, Rev 9s are the frontline soldiers and these stupid-looking helicopter hunter killers with big-ass hoops are the new hunter killers. I hate the designs. I don't like it. And I don't like the future war. I don't like the soldiers of the future war. I don't like their stupid little aerial vehicle that has so many fast-moving components, and it's all complicated and futuristic. Look, if
it's the Matrix.
It makes no fucking sense if the machines are taking over and AI is taking over that you have technology at that level on the human resistance. What made the human resistance so fascinating was James Cameron's blue hues, the 80s look, the grunge, the fucking technical trucks trying to take on an overpowering technological person. And the only reason why we have some purple lasers too is we probably reappropriated that technology. But no, here we have gold lasers and we have stupid looking guns and lights and LEDs and technologies that's just advanced as I hate it. I hate the future war. Next thing I hate, the beginning of the film, they kill John Connor. Everything that we went through.
Look good though.
Everything that Eddie Furlong contributed to the character and that John Connor goes through in T2 was for jack shit. Because he dies. When they go on vacation, they're like, yes, we did it. And the sacrifice of the original Terminator or the second Terminator was amazing, and it was heartfelt, and it was, He gets shot in the fucking chest on vacation on the beach in Mexico.
In front of Sarah.
In front of his mom by another Terminator. Apparently, Skynet sent multiple Terminators back in time, and I guess this Terminator just spawned in a different location, and by the time he got there, the original Terminator already protected from the T-1000, and then John gets shot. Now, surprisingly, very well executed CGI.
After watching Gemini Man and seeing this, is like, how did you not do this?
Well, I was like, how did you get that right with Linda in...
And then the rest of the CGI is bad?
Yes.
Yes.
How?
I don't know. Because when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, I fell in love with the universe again. And I was like, I want to see this movie. I want to.
Yeah,
can you do a whole movie of them de-aged like this, or would that just be another Gemini Man? Or is it that they're kind of still not really moving?
It wasn't a very long.
It wasn't a very long scene. They didn't move a lot. It would probably be too complicated to do that. Eddie Furlong's character John Connor dies
after hitting on a senorita.
Yep.
It shits. Damn. It shits all over the lore that I love, and that's why the fan in me would be like a 3. Rather than the turn-off brain 8, where Terminator 1, pointless. Terminator 2, pointless.
They do some hand-waving to make sure it makes sense, right? And so it's the Skynet is gone. Yep. But Skynet from a fixed point in the future sends Terminators all throughout time, all through the 90s, to kill this kid. And so these Terminators do not have any connection. They have their mission, and then that's it. And so they do some hand-waving to be like, look, Skynet still is gone. They were successful at the end of Terminator 2. They blew up the chip. They blew up
still popping in.
They're from a different. They're stuck in. They're waiting for the spawn time to come in, and I don't buy it. But at least they kind of did some hand waving. They don't just go like
kind of talked about it.
They mentioned it, so it's not.
It upset me. And then worse, we get 5, like I said in the review, we get 5 seconds of Future War. That pissed me off. It was so lazy. There was 2 endoskeletons come up from the beach, and there were 3 hunter killers. One endoskeleton goes down, a hunter killer goes down. That's it. It immediately fades. And I'm like, yeah. The one thing that wasn't right is there were orange lasers coming towards the No, I'm fucking
You're pissed.
This is the kind of
get
shit
down to
mega
nitty
fans.
gritty.
Excuse me, humans. No, pulse rifles in this time. It needed to be humans have purple lasers back. They firing purple lasers this way. They did get the gun design right on the endoskeleton, and I will give them credit. The 2 or 3 endoskeletons that were invading actually had great movement. That was one thing in T2 that, upon further rewatching it, it's real. It's right there, but it's limited mobility. And this one had a little bit more convincing mobility, but it was CGI, and I just love the way he looks. But that's why we get 5 seconds of that. We kill John Connor, and I'm like,
We do get flashes
Mother
of
truckers.
mother truckers.
We do see other future
then
war
we
stuff.
go directly into
yeah.
but this is a different future
Well,
war.
I
And I'm
hated
going to
it.
get to that. I hated it as well.
Well, because the Terminators don't use guns. They don't use any projectile. They just walk around I can make. They're all T-1000s that can have multiple swords, and they're just oh, I'm just going to stab you. It's you have the most. You have these. You can fly. You can do all these things. You can split into multiple things. It's I got a knife. It's yeah.
The future war here, I fucking hate, and I'll never get the James Cameron 80s blue hue future war with purple lasers. And this future war makes no sense. Number one, the first thing you see, humans have advanced technology. They have a troop transport, and they have advanced armor and weapons, and their weapons don't fire purple lasers. As far as I can tell, they're kinetic weapons, but they could also potentially be pulse lasers with the yellow. But I think they're kinetic. Anyways, what happens is they fly over, then it's shown there's flies, and I'm God, man, I hate any time there's a fly design. I don't like those types of enemies because honestly, that's game over. You cannot stop that type of attack. That's Angel Has Fallen, situation where they're little ball drones and they fly so fast, and one explodes will take out that whole fucking ship and all 40 of the soldiers on it, right? But no, for some reason, those little balls never catch up to them. The ship fucking lands, and the troops come out of it, and for some goddamn reason, the balls just fly over.
One ball hits them.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. And then 3 balls come down, and then one ball hits it, and the whole, it's almost everybody dies. But then there's a few soldiers left, and we're going boo, 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 and a door opens, and I'm oh shit, are we gonna get some fucking Terminators? Are we going into a base to attack Skynet? But no. These Rev 9s don't come from that. They're just around. The Rev 9s are attacking, and the base is actually a human resistance base. Grace is knocked out. And she's save the commander. We don't ever get to see the commander. Is it John Connor? No, he's dead. Who's the commander? So they transport her into the base. They repair her. She's hurting real bad. And she's I consent, or I volunteer. I want to be augmented. And so before she dies or whatever, and they heal her, they augment her. And so that's why she has these abilities to knock around these Mexican police officers when she goes back in time to try to save Danny. Now, the story is Danny is the next John Connor. The twist in the film, which was completely unnecessary. Yeah. You saw a mile away coming, and there's a little wokeness it's not some man, it's the man doesn't save the future. It's
not her womb. They specifically say it's your womb that's valuable. It's no, it's not her womb. It's her because she has a mind. It's
not a man that's going to save the future.
It's
you.
I wanted her to be the next Dyson, and actually, the Terminator sent to protect her was the one making sure that she grew up to found Legion, and then T-1000 was sent from the Resistance to try to stop it, because at least there had been some cool story play there, and then that would be interesting. But no, we got nothing.
Legion is not explained how it just shows up after Skynet. It is one throwaway line. Oh goddamn, those people never learn.
Yeah.
Skynet is no more. Well, now it's called Legion. People experimented with AI, artificial intelligence. Goddamn, people never learn. It's okay, so Skynet comes and they make the same exact looking Terminators as T-1000s / T-800s, just built into one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And no hunter-killer tanks. I just don't like the future war, and I don't want to see the future war. And we do see more elements of the future war, but not a battle between humans and machines. We see a bunch of kids running, in a war-torn city. And Danny gets captured by some kids that are hungry. That's Grace. Give us your food, Grace. And we know you got food. And then it's revealed that Danny is the one that saves her. Danny is John Connor in this universe. And for some stupid reason, she tells all of her soldiers not to come in there with her. She could have got shot by this fucking kid trying to get some food because he's fucking hungry. But no, she goes in there alone and is like, fate is what we make it. And, they repeat some of the lines.
Speech. Pop.
Yeah, but I was not convinced when Danny was a good actor and her running from and her whole family's being killed, but when she's the resistance, I didn't fucking buy it, and it's a little cringy and it didn't really work.
Well, they changed it immediately. She goes from oh no, everyone around me is dying, I'm afraid, and she was annoyingly I need to go. It's her brother is crispy, and she's I need to go save him. It's that machine's gonna kill. Come on, this is I don't buy it. And then she is now immediately I am the leader of the resistance and I'm tough. It's come on, show us some progression into that. And she just immediately turned.
It's not immediate. There's a transition of time. But what you're saying is the scenes are right next to each other.
Yeah, that there was no I didn't buy that she doesn't need to be the grizzled tough commander in this movie at all. She can develop into that. She's got 30 years to develop into that. She doesn't. They didn't need to show me in this movie that she goes from scared little girl to
they
the
did a
leader.
montage.
Yeah,
Come on.
I guess.
Well, anyway, she does get more and more confident as they're fighting. She doesn't want to run anymore. She wants to make a stand. Eventually, they make a stand. And I bought that part. It's just in the future, her speech, and it was in the middle of the movie, or no, 2/3 into the movie. It didn't really work. I hate all the future war stuff. I hate that Skynet is gone. But I did like one thing that you get from all this, what you fucked up and you destroyed into pieces was Skynet fighting Legion. I kind of like that aspect, but it's only between two machines. It's between an old T-800 model, Carl, and the new Rev 9. So who is Carl? No, he's not Hasta La Vista, baby. He's not, the thumbs up guy. He was the Terminator that was sent on the beach and in Mexico and killed John Connor. And he's actually been giving Sarah Connor coordinates to give her some purpose in life. And the text would be a coordinate. It would be an old T-800 model. She would destroy it, and he would text for John. And I thought that was well handled. And I was like, okay, you killed John, but at least you're doing good with his memory. It's about John. It's all this. And he sacrifices himself at the end of the film. I was like, are we going to kill Sarah Connor? Are we going to kill Carl? We kill Carl. He doesn't fall in a vat of acid. Instead, he makes sure that the Rev 9 is destroyed with an electromagnetic battery bomb from Grace. And he has a good line, and it kind of hit me. There was a little emotion there. He's like, for John. As such a big fan of the original, Eddie Furlong, John Connor is dead. At least we get a moment where he's honored. And Carl deactivates and shuts down, and he's dead now, too. So it's like, fuck. I don't want to see this franchise without, Arnold in it, I guess, but it's the only way to go because Arnold's getting older. However, Linda Hamilton's character, Sarah Connor, survives. Obviously, Danny survives. She's the new John Connor. Grace, surprisingly, well, I guess it shouldn't be surprising because she's kind of Kyle Reese in this kind of thing a little bit. She does not survive. Because she's augmented, they need battery power for all of her augments. Grace says, you got to take this from me. There was 2 EMPs that got all shot up. And so she rips out her heart, basically. Kalima. And uses it to stab. And you feel the emotion. You feel like, she didn't want to do that, and she had to. And she's like, "Argh!" And charges the Terminator with them. I'm like, all right, that's cool. I'll buy that now. I just don't like your cringy speech in the future that didn't really work. And that's that. But the locations in this film are fucking crazy. You've got a chase with... a construction truck that knocks cars aside.
That we've seen before.
Yeah.
You've got, then Linda Hamilton shows up, uses her fucking badass, grenade launcher. Or
I'll be back.
It's awesome.
I just didn't like that line delivery.
Apparently, they had to film it a bunch of times.
We've seen it in the trailer 1,000 times, but I laughed when I saw it, and within context, I liked it.
I just wish they didn't put it
worked.
in the trailer.
Yeah, that would have it would have worked better if it wasn't in the trailer. Arnold has a little play on "I'll be back." He says, "I won't be back."
Oh, he was hilarious.
Yeah,
Carl
Arnold was so
was
funny.
really funny.
Because he basically stayed there to take care of a family. He has a family now.
I don't buy that he said he met her a few months later.
Yeah.
This fucking infiltrator Terminator machine has no purpose. And a few months later, maybe you just said years. All right, maybe. Because, this Terminator is... And I did like this
His wife
aspect.
is
If
probably
you
like,
think about
"Oh my
it,
God,
it's
look at
fine.
this guy."
He's getting no more orders. His job is to act like a human, to infiltrate a human, and to blend in with humans, except if you see John Connor and seek out and kill John Connor.
Yeah.
Once that's over, he's essentially supposed to be a robot that acts human.
Yeah.
So it actually worked, and I was like, wow, this works surprisingly well. And he says his relationship's not sexual.
I
He
hate
has
that.
a son. And it's like, wait, he can't procreate and have sex like that, and it's our relationship's not sexual, and it's like a son from her previous marriage or whatever.
Well, yeah, the guy was gonna kill her and the son,
Yep.
which is why he steps in and they get
Steps
together.
in, saves them.
A conscience.
Surprisingly, a little lore breaking here, and obviously they didn't have the time to show this, but Carl is petting the dog, and the dog loves Carl. But in all Terminator franchises, dogs always bark at the Terminator. So it goes to show you that Carl's such a good guy that even dogs like Carl.
Why did it have to be a dead marriage? We know that he's got junk. We've seen the junk in Terminator 1. Like, let him use it.
True. Yeah, Alex really wants that robot porn there. So,
But
anyway,
it's funny, though, because he's like, and she likes my sense of humor.
Yeah,
And I am
I'm very
very
funny.
funny.
It's like, yes.
I am very funny. He was very funny in the film, though. That deadpan humor of this AI machine kind of learning to blend in with humans, learning to grow conscience and to see what love is about. He still thinks love is weakness, not a strength. But, he makes an ultimate sacrifice, just like the second Terminator in
Yeah.
saving John Connor. And I was like, that's
it's the
great.
same.
It's great. But it is the same, and it was done better in the first one because it was more character driven, and
you actually cared about
and you
all of
cared
them.
about him. I cared about him a little, but I think it was feelings left over from the second Terminator,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm saying. Like,
Confusing Carl with that version,
it's like, wait,
which
it's
I
not
need
the
a name
same
for that
one.
version. I'm sure he's got a nickname that I don't know that
John.
fans gave him.
Uncle Bob, or was it Uncle
Is
John?
it Uncle Bob?
Because when they go down to Mexico and they pick up all the guns,
Yeah,
like,
it
who's
is.
that guy?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
Uncle
Bob or
something. Yeah, it's like
like that. Anyways, so gosh, but the action is there. I mean, you've got that chase sequence. Then you've got what else?
Actually, how did they kill the T-1000?
they frozen. Well,
You
no,
mean
he
the
comes back.
T1?
Yeah, the T-1. How did they
Okay.
kill him?
They
not,
killed
not the
him.
robot
They
one,
went to a
the
dam,
skin.
and there's energy
burned off.
generators in
But
there.
he was going through
with a-
explosions like
with
the
a
entire
rotator.
movie, though.
Yeah, but he was. It's less that that it can't exist independently without the neural network. I'm not saying they explain this very well, but it's like we do some hand waving. They melted his skin off. His skin is elsewhere, and then they blew up the brain, and now the skin doesn't do anything without the brain because the brain controls both of them.
I'm actually going to say and support that theory that I think that the liquid part of the Rev 9 is actually weaker individually than a T-1000. It's not like that liquid could defeat the T-1000
Well, he was
liquid in a
able to, like,
one-on-one battle.
Morph into
Well,
like a gun, and then
yeah.
Because he was taking more damage and he would shut down a lot easier than the previous T-1000
so it's like kind
without
of
his
inconsistent
other
because like he was
elements.
using spikes, and then he also like
He did
forms
pull
into a gun.
One of the problems I
Like,
had with
he
it is
could've just
his
done
hand
that.
becomes a gun in the very beginning
yeah,
of the movie,
remember?
I forgot.
and then he
No,
and he
this was like-
shoots him.
'Cause he
Fucking do
never
that the
does
entire
that
time.
again.
He had like 2 fucking machine guns.
He never does it again.
Yeah.
Well, so if he had just simply grabbed the gun and was like hiding in the skin, that's why he can't make his arm a bazooka or something. That's still not satisfying.
Maybe that's what it was. He was hiding it,
No,
and then
'cause,
when
like,
but
I
that still
sure-
sucks. Hide other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I did think the design was very creative. It's cool. He can split and miss. Shots can miss him.
But Sarah Connor
He
should
can
have been
actually,
like,
if
I've
he's
dealt
holding,
with something like this before. Let's freeze him.
Yeah.
can hold with one hand. And she can and
Yeah.
hit him. Yes. So that is another issue with the film is this amnesia. This convenient amnesia. So Sarah, she goes through the same arc. She hates it at first, then she likes him at the end. I will never call you Carl. Fuck that. At the end, Carl, get up. you know? And that's the arc that we got in the first one. It does make sense in the world because he does fucking murder her son. That was the most important thing to her. So the anger at him at the beginning, I liked. It was in canon. She wants to shoot this guy at all times. And I was like, oh, man, they're just going to do this thing where she, with the shotgun, oh, no. Fine, I'll listen to everybody. But no. And I was like, please let her try to kill him a few more times. And she tries to kill him throughout the film.
Well, she doesn't try to kill him.
She shoots him with
she
the
doesn't
gun.
help.
I don't
doesn't
like
help
that
later
scene
on.
because
I love
there's
that
no
scene.
purpose to it. She knows it's not going to kill him. What is she doing it for?
She's angry. I don't think you've ever lost a son or a sibling, or maybe you don't understand,
So
what it's
she's
like
just-
to be a mother.
So she's just
Terminators.
she's just throwing a temper tantrum because it doesn't do anything. She's not trying to kill him. She's got explosives in the car. If she wants to kill him, blow him up. She takes a 9mm. She shoots him 3 times in the chest. She's killed countless Terminators.
Correct.
And so she's just like,
That
I'm
was
mad
the
at
point
you.
of the
I'm mad
scene.
at you.
That is exactly the point of the scene. Thank you for describing the excellent scene. Because
She needs to take out her rage.
it fucking
Yeah.
killed the most important thing
Yeah.
to her fucking son, Alex. I guess you'll never have children. Anyways, but so yeah, mixed feelings, honestly, from a nostalgia and a universe side. It's not a good movie. It doesn't. It's like you redid it and you
Didn't
redid
do
it
anything
and you left
better,
the universe in a worse state, and I fucking hate you. But I was
you love it.
entertained by it, and I thought that the acting was well done, and the direction that they chose, that at least they executed that direction. It's just not the direction that I want to see. So I will forgive the film as a alternate universe, a Elseworlds single story, a one-shot single story. Okay? I don't want to see another one of these. If you continue Legion instead of Skynet, fuck you. The next film better be, Skynet is still around too, and they're deploying their silver endoskeletons to take on
It's never
Legion.
gonna happen.
And Skynet will ally with the human resistance to fight Legion, and there will be an uneasy alliance. And then, see, that's a cool ass film. And then once they defeat Legion, and that, if you don't know, that's actually the way the human resistance wins and ends the whole thing. In the comics, for Terminator Salvation, they continued the storyline for Terminator Salvation. And eventually, because Skynet, gets his body and he goes off and he does these crazy things, they eventually incorporate a psychopath, like a serial murder killer, that Skynet can no longer control on its own side, and it's starting to corrupt its systems. Skynet has to ally with humanity in order to take out this cancer, and it ends in kind of a Cold War. Humans and machines kind of coexisting, but being very suspicious of each other, and then that's how it ends. And I think that's really the only way it could end satisfyingly if they try to do 2 more films. But you fucked it up. You killed Skynet, and you killed everything that I was looking forward to, hopefully. Because I was thinking maybe there'd be a twist at the end. Eddie Furlong,
There is a
as
twist.
his current character. I know he's looking rough these days, but he says he's turning his life around. He said he enjoyed, his character being in the film. And I thought he meant, thank you for the opportunity. I think he said something like that in quote. I was like, maybe at the end he'll show up and he's one of the commanders. He's not the leader anymore, but he's one of the commanders.
Yeah, because they never really showed the commanders. Like, who was it?
Well, we know.
No,
we
Joe-
do know
Oh,
it's
okay, it
her.
was her.
It's
okay.
Danny.
Oh, okay, I thought it was
That's the whole
somebody
thing.
else.
That's the whole story. But okay,
Oh.
but I thought maybe at the end he could show up, and we can maybe get John Connor and Danny. Now you got me interested. No, that's not happening. He's dead.
You did.
All right,
Yeah. Sorry.
that's it. The Terminator franchise is dead, and wow, we went from excited to just upon realizing. Now, granted, remember I watched these films 5 minutes after seeing it, so it's probably sinking in now that you've destroyed my franchise.
Like if you
You
like,
said you ate it.
as long as
Well, I
you
did say I gave it a 3, but I gave it an 8.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you
You
don't think
come
about
back-
this movie, it is it's a fine action movie.
Yeah,
but
if you
the
don't think about
but
it.
I
Yeah,
was
that's what I was
thinking
like-
when I was
that's what
thinking
I'm
about this
saying.
movie, it's very average. It's like, man, the story's not very good, but the action's good. 5.
Yeah, that's why I was
Ah.
like 5.
All right, guys, that's it. Thank you so much for watching Terminator Dark Fate. It is, hey,
It's there.
hits that subtitle pretty hard. Dark Fate. All right, guys.
Yeah.
And another thing, in stuff we forgot, the military guy. The what was his? He was a corporal. Major who?
Major Tom.
Dean.
Major Dean. So at first, I leaned over to Alex. I'm like, who is this guy? This is pretty fucking important that this military guy in such a high-ranking position brings them 2 EMP bombs in order to destroy the Rev 9 just at the simple request of Sarah Connor, who is a wanted criminal. Who is this guy? And I was hoping against all hope that this would be the son of the original character in the film that created Skynet.
Dyson.
You remember that? Dyson. You know, maybe that was the way that it tied into the. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool because he has a loyalty. Well, I guess they would have to explain why he has a loyalty to the person that helped kill his father. Yeah. But maybe he understood that Skynet is a bad thing. But no.
Just some random person.
He is a complete random person, which completely breaks the logic of this film. Did you look it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
The character name? It's Major Dean.
It's so weird because it looked like Carl actually kind of knew who that guy was. And I was like, that has to be the son. That has to be Dyson. But it's not.
No.
So why does Carl know him? Is that because he was texting Carl that military guy too?
No, Carl keeps track of where Sarah Connor goes, he's like, you visited this person.
So somehow Sarah Connor is able to convince this military guy. I guess we'll see it in the comic where one of the times that a T-800 spawned in that Carl gave her coordinates for, this one military guy was just so happened to be driving by, and he sees, oh my God, you're right.
I'll give you everything you need.
Anything you want, call me.
No.
This makes no sense.
Yeah.
No.
I refuse to do their work for them. They need explaining.
This makes no fucking sense. And he actually calls the whole U.S. military, basically. Call it off. I'm coming in a white van. I'm hurt. And they're chasing us in a stolen police helicopter. Police helicopter, T2. Yeah. Anyways, so so the military people are shooting, and they're helping, and they allow them to commandeer a huge aircraft.
Yeah.
Catches up in no time.
And that's what we see, this aircraft, I guess, flying at full speed. The Rev 9 ditches his helicopter after it explodes, grabs a big-ass fucking plane of his own, and he smashes one of the jets. Where did the fucking second jet go?
He said, I don't want none of this.
Nope. he took fucking back off and fired.
You see the X's, and one of them just veers off to the left.
He's gone the rest of the film. Yeah. And he just allows this, instead of just say straight up slamming his plane into their plane.
Well, we established earlier in the film that the T-1000 is a garbage machine.
Is an idiot.
Because he commandeers a Border Patrol drone, like a massive drone. Those drones are huge. Like, they're almost like jet-sized drones. And he tries to crash it into Danny earlier in the film.
Yep.
And he also used guns earlier in the film. And that's the only time he does it. He has all of this opportunity. He can use all of the technology we have. He hacks into the U.S. military, and he's like, I know I tried to hit you with a plane, but I'm not going to hit you with this plane. I want to get out of this plane, jump from my plane to your plane, and try to do the stabby
Alex,
thing.
we would not have a movie.
Yeah, but if you
could say that very same thing about the T-800 that was sent back in time.
The issue is they didn't open the can of worms with the T-800 and the T-1000. Once you show that something is possible, then it's like the same problem with like The Last Jedi. Once you show me that you just put a warp drive on anything, you don't need a Death Star anymore.
I got you.
So you open that can of worms, and here they open it by showing that he's willing to crash a plane into her, he's willing to use guns, and then he just forgets to the rest of the movie.
So I instead of, I was like, oh shit, we're done because he's gonna clash it, but no, instead he kind of scrapes it so that he can get out and jump on and then execute the people inside instead of straight up crashing it. But it's cool because it's like, I can survive this. I'm gonna go and execute her, make sure she's executed, and then they do the zero-G gravity stuff, and it was good, and honestly it was cool. Like the Mummy, like the one good scene in the Tom Cruise film, or was that the Mummy? Or
I was like, how dare you? I love the Mummy, but with
Mission
Brendan
Impossible
Fraser.
or something. No, where he falls from the fucking big ass aircraft. So they do kind of that thing. And then they get in a fucking Jeep, and this Jeep has got the fucking parachute. But then, and I'm like, okay, wow, that was already a insane set piece that you would have never seen in T2 because they couldn't do it at the time.
Yet.
But it gets crazier than that. Then they're falling through the fucking air, and they're doing stuff in the air, and then they slam into a fucking hydro dam, but the truck goes perpendicular, fucking horizontal, and then here comes the Rev 9 jumps on top of it while Grace jumps up and cuts it off so that they fall.
Put on your seatbelt.
Granted,
down the dam.
Granted, Sarah Connor and Danny are in the fucking car, the Humvee, which apparently is fucking airtight with no way for water to come in except for a tiny little squirt. Man, those Humvees are shit. Anyway, slams into the water while she fights him in the water, and then the T-800 is fighting him in the water.
Like tumbling multiple times.
And then it tumbles, but no, it's fine. It's completely airtight.
Yeah.
But then he shows up and cuts holes in it, but no, it doesn't burst. It's just a small thing.
And Sarah starts shooting the glass.
And then Sarah does the dumb thing.
What are you doing?
I was like, whoa! And this is crazy as shit. I'm like, Tim Miller, do we really need to go and fucking go this crazy with everything? Because that's when you have to have a lot of CGI, because you know he's not outside that window, and you know that's not really him swimming around, and you know it's CGI, right? Yes, the actresses are in there, and they're actually doing that. It's like, okay, get the parachute. Once he comes, we'll wrap him in the parachute. Ready? 3, 2, 1. And then they go underwater, and then he comes. They wrap him in the parachute, and then they swim up. Also looked CGI as the two humans swimming up, and they get up. It's like, woo, And
there's a lot going on.
I was like, wow, this film. But that's why I said it was ambitious in the sense it's like we want for the action to go. We want it to beat T2, and it's like, okay. Yeah, you kind of beat T2, but in the wrong way.
Yeah, it's quantity, not quality.
It's so over the top that it loses meaning. And I'd rather just see a standard shootout with fucking, Glocks, with characters you can't give a shit about. You don't want them to get hit by the bullets. But no, we got this, going crazy. Anyways. So, they go in the factory and they're having their final stand. No, so the military guy, that was the stuff we forgot. It breaks the film because we have no fucking idea and it's not explained and it's a really
you guys know?
essential part of it. Let us know in the comments.
It
has to be the son of Dyson, even though you say it's not Dyson. Maybe he changed his name so he wouldn't be embarrassed.
No. You're giving the movie a lot of credit where the movie doesn't deserve anywhere near this much credit. And then what's stupid about it is he brings the big old briefcase with the 2 EMP bombs in there. And they're like, oh, it got shot 3 times. And there's 2 bullet holes through both EMP bombs. Like,
so the 3 bullets managed to hit both EMPs perfectly.
This is stupid.
So that Grace can give her power unit and give her life towards it. And, it's really a mixture of T2, T3, Terminator Salvation with the hybrid idea, T3 with the, new advanced Terminator, Terminator Salvation a little bit with the liquid and John Connor dying. But at least in Genesis, I had the dumb fun where the future war. I mean, I finally got to see that. And I just want a whole movie of that.
Glimpse.
I really wanted a whole movie of that, and we'll never get
Genesis?
I don't remember. They'll let me know.
You'll let us know in the comments.
You gave it an 8?
Yeah.
I was told it was like a 2.
No, Genesis is not a 2.
So I'm curious what you gave.
Yeah, Joe's ratings are all fucked up, in my opinion, now. No way.
I mean, you're the one here giving Genesis an 8.
You know what's so funny is I was like, Joe's rating's wrong, but then we pretty much ended up at the same spot.
Oh.
Joe guessed and got it right.
I guess no.
Or he's smarter than all of us, and he managed to get it right at the end.
No.
Because, if you combine my 2 ratings, the 3 in terms of that faithfulness and then the 8 in terms of fun and dumb fun, then you hit Joe's score. So All right.
Yeah,
that was stuff.
I'm the dumb fun.
Yeah, dumb
Yeah.
fun. No, because
I'm dumb fun.
No, because
No,
you
you're
didn't
opposite.
even
Yeah.
have dumb fun. You would have rated it an 8.
Yeah, if you
But
were-
you didn't like it as much as Alex liked it in the dumb fun arena.
Yeah, in
Because
the
you were
dumb-
like,
yeah.
fuck the T-1000. I don't like
Because
him.
he's so inconsistent.
Yeah. All right.
He did the whole gun thing. just is
CGI
gonna be a
bad.
problem.
Yeah.
And hacking.
Oh yeah, like I'm hacking through the keyboard. It's like what?
I'm probably going to sour on this film too. But it is better than Genesis. It is better than Salvation. It is better than T3. But it just takes it in the
Terminator
wrong
2 is up there.
takes it in the wrong direction. What I'm talking about is technical aspects, action aspects, acting aspects, those and direction aspects. I'm saying those particular things because it takes it in a direction I don't like. So that was stuff we forgot in an important franchise like this. Is going to be a little longer, so I'm going to have to split this into 2 videos, non-spoilers and spoilers. Hopefully you guys watched both. If you're watching this, you did. Thank you very much. And yeah,
Don't cheat.
we'll see you on the next Angry Joe show.
Bye, guys.
Bye.